I apologize, I forgot to open the mics. So welcome yet again. I just said welcome to YouTube. Thank you to everybody for joining me. We've got Mac and Shane here on YouTube, on Discord with me. And whoever else there on the other side, welcome guys, welcome. We had a week full of drama and a couple of incidents that I'm glad it's over. It's the end of my week now, so I hope you guys are gonna just relax with me and enjoy the flight as well. Shane, you're not flying with, or are you flying with?
I am not. I just got done with another flight, but I'm going to watch a stream.
All right, cool. Now I'm just checking. Hello, Scotsman. Right, so anyway, then I'm not going to go on Iveo. We'll keep it off then. And just fly on our own land himself. There is one thing I just want to quickly mention, and I need to take a screenshot while I'm doing it. Mako, on Mac's request, added a feature into the VA that you guys might not know of because nobody told you. Hello, Carl. So I'm going to quickly show you when we do the actual create the flight from the SimBrief template here. I'm just taking any of the aircraft. There's a new option inside of SimBrief, and obviously us having access through the API, we actually get the same facility, but it had to be programmed into the VA. So on the right hand side over there, you can actually now select if you want a conventional or an RNAV SID and star, and SimBrief will then suggest a SID and star to you. Now, me being the control freak, I probably won't use it, but I know other guys think this is the best thing since sliced bread and ice cream, so there's no right or wrong. It's a question of preference. If you want SimBrief to actually automatically do your runways and SIDs and stars, you can now select conventional or RNAV or none. So guys, please take note. Let me actually just take a screenshot, like I said, so we can actually show the people. In actual fact, I want to just lift it a little bit and try again. So I can actually publish this here on Discord somewhere for the guys who are not watching the stream. So
I don't even think you can do that on SimBrief, can you?
You can, yeah, it's a new function.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it.
They implemented quite a lot of new things, but you see the difference between other groups and our group is McTrying. And McTrying goes and investigates all of this. Hey, Mac. And then he comes back and he says, did you see this and that and the other? And I also go, no, I didn't. I don't go and investigate these things.
You got some awesome people helping and doing stuff in the background.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, that's what D does. I just want to go copy my flight from Navigraph now. I've already done the pre-planning outside, so we can just copy it from here. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I think personally, for anybody that's new to flight simming, that doesn't quite understand the SID and star thing, I think that's an excellent addition. It's really, really cool idea. I don't know how accurate it is, and if it's infallible, I presume it is fallible some way. Something's going to bump you in your head, but for the most part of it, if it's 90% accurate, it's cool. Hello, Steve.
I think the biggest hiccup might be that it might only pick up a departure or SID that's for A and B class aircraft. So obviously you still need to check, but for those that are unfamiliar with Navigraph or don't have Navigraph and still want a SID and a star to give them guidance, at least it's a starting point.
Yes, exactly what I mean, Mac. Exactly. So yeah, we must just pay attention to it when we do training with the guys and make sure that they still learn how to help themselves. They're relying on automation too much is never good, but Well, yeah, Neil, I think you're going to enjoy it. This is now leg number 4 that I'm doing. I have not flown all the legs, even though I made the tour. I haven't flown all the legs, and this is me basically, also now getting ready for it. So, yeah, this is, like I said, leg 4. We're going down to the coast. From the coast, there's another 1 or 2 nice challenges waiting. So it's a bit of a zigzag, but it's all about the challenge. You know, so we're not kind of flying in a circle or a specific direction. Hope you guys like it. Hello, Dumper. Goeienaand. So, coming back to our sim brief chat, I think I've given everything. I want my runways. I've got to sit in the star already. You know, from my planning, 320 is the best altitude according to active sky. So I'm forcing that as well. Let's go. Kent, yes. I still use my little nav map to create the map as usual. I just don't know if we can actually integrate it because it's not a web app. Remember, it's an app running on your own computer. So if you've got that, you know, we don't really have to incorporate it. But I hear the sentiment at least. So there we go. We have our data. We can actually go input this. Right. (17.2) and 7.6. I think this is almost a 2-hour flight, guys. So if you guys get bored or need coffee and all these things, feel free to go and fetch, do what you need to do. And you won't believe it.
I've got a problem, Nico.
What did you do?
Well, I'm just checking my weather, and according to the weather, where I am, it's 16 degrees centigrade. But the FMC isn't updating. And neither is the center display.
Well, there's a 9 degrees. Let's quickly have a look. See. Yeah, mine's not updating either. Mine should say 16. Ah, Zibo.
Yeah, but now, don't get me wrong, Nico. This is the feature that Paul had the problems with the other day.
Yeah. It could be related to the airport, you know, the altitude and things like that. It could be a number of things, but I think we need to just show Zibo.
Well, what I'm getting at is if you look at if you go to weather and look at your current weather.
Mac, where? In Explain?
Yeah, in Explain, top right, weather.
16 and 10:35. Okay, let's take a screenshot.
Can you move the flight plan?
I'll do that just now. Sorry, guys. H gone. All right. Okay, I can't move that now. Okay, so it gives there 16, right? It says 16 and 1035, but if we go look there, it says 9. Okay, so let's go look at page 2.
And I cannot get it to update. I've gone back to the N1 limit page and clicked to update it. I can't get it to work.
Yeah, I see. Uncle Mac, I'll send the data to Zibo and then he must just analyze it because, I mean, even if you look at my primary flight display, and also let's do this. There's the map, just for reference, and there you can see it is picking up 1035, but it says that we are like 1,000 foot high in the air. Well, I'm lying, not that much, but it's a couple of 100 feet.
Yeah. The other thing was, if you check your active sky, that's also showing 16 as well.
Yes, it is, and also 1035.
Yeah, I noticed that my altitude didn't match, even though I had the same altimeter set, it showed me a little bit low on the PFD, even though I should have been about, I don't know, 100 feet higher.
Yeah, so let me just get that up. Take a screenshot of that. Man.
I just thought I'd point that out because it's going on from what we were talking about with Paul the other day, wasn't it?
Yes. Okay, so we're going to, for the sake of this flight, just turn a blind eye. Okay, but we are going to send Zibo the details because if it is something he can fix, you know, he will. If it's not, he'll tell me. Nico, not my problem.
I thought it was just me on the last flight. I was like,
Nope.
Well, it's because both Nico and I are agreeing on data, and that's two completely separate installations.
Yeah.
And we're both getting the same data readout. There's something's missed somewhere.
Yeah, now Flying Scotsman saying the same. Shane said the same. Paul said the same. I mean, there's quite a few guys agreeing now there is a problem. It's the same old story that I always tell the guys when we do support. If there is a real problem, everyone would have it. If it's not a real problem, it's only on your side. You know what I'm saying? But this is too much for a coincidence. This is something that needs to be checked. So how are we doing?
I'll shut up and go back to sleep now. You carry on, Nico.
Okay, bye. No, please don't shut up. I'm gonna feel lonely and alone, and then I'm gonna fall asleep. Those tablets are medicine is not out of my system yet, so you guys are gonna have to talk to me. With me. Right, okay, so let's concentrate. So fuel is 7.6, so let's just put that in the placeholder so we can continue our planning. Zero fuel weight, 60.3. Ach no, man, are we on the wrong freaking aircraft? We're probably on the wrong, what do you call it? Zibo profile. No, yeah, exactly. We're using the wrong aircraft. Okay, well then I'm
using the 160 something.
Yeah, probably, but the aircraft itself is the 189. So I'm not gonna redo everything now. We're just gonna.
Can you just not change the passengers on it?
You know what? What we can do? Hold on. Is we can go edit it. Let's rather do it properly. I was not really looking forward to doing this, but let's go do that. Well, it says
because I had to do the same thing on my flight. I had 180, and I had to change it back to 160.
Well, there it says Zibo 189.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up, and you are good to go.
Let's go see what happened here. It is the 189. It is. Everything should be fine. Well, let's change something and.
Yeah, it looks like you have everything right on the plane.
Yeah, and it looks like I've got everything right there as well. Okay, so everybody concur. Let's just generate the new OFP quickly, download it, see if it matches. Otherwise, that's another thing we'll have to ask Zibo to have a look at, because I mean it's not supposed to be that way. It could be in some of his workings that he touched something he wasn't supposed to, or he's busy upgrading the code again, and it's now an XLUA not talking with C++ again. We've had that happen a few times now.
By the way, did you work out what the density altitude was, Nico?
No, I haven't checked that. It's going to be hell high. I'm telling you now. Hold on.
I'm just wondering whether this is maybe within the calculation, the fact that the density altitude is way above 10,000 or 9,000 feet, and that's what's causing the problems with the temperature.
It could be. It could be. Well, there's density altitude, 16,054.
And that's what, 7,000 above Is it 9,000 or 10,000?
No, this airfield is 16.
No, I'm on about the normal max altitude for an NG without.
Oh yeah. That's 10,000.
No,
Yeah, it's 10,000 feet for the NG, so that's 6,000 and a half about, or just over 6,000. Sorry, not half, 6,000 above. Yeah, 6,054 above.
So it may be it's where the mathematics is falling over. Maybe
could be.
Good thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up again.
Wish you wouldn't say that. It's not necessary, Mac.
Well, if I don't say it, Paul will come here and say it, or John will.
Yeah. So say it. It just fixes the problem so much sooner. Okay, well, let's go have a look-see. If we go to 0 fuel weight now.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Yeah, it's totally wrong, eh? It's totally wrong. Yeah, no, there's more wrong with this model than we thought.
Really?
Can you just reload just reload it and make sure it's good?
What do you mean reload it? The aircraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that, but I did it just before the stream started.
Disregard then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I purposely did. I don't fly this thing without reloading it.
Hello guys, good afternoon.
Who's that? William. Hello, William.
It is indeed Nico. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, we're confused, but we'll work it out. Okay, so we're not matching with our OFP at all. You know, for all we know, and I'm saying this obviously with all due respect, but it could be a calculation error on the SimBrief side. They could have fiddled with their code. So, I don't know, we'll have to check both sides. Excellent, Scotsman. I'm glad. 283, 29, and 13. Yeah, we're just keeping that as is.
Right, Nico, I think...
You think what, and then you died?
I think I worked out what the problem is.
What?
If you go... Forget that.
Yeah, okay. No, don't worry. No, we'll work it out on now. So, right, 146. By the way, guys, there was an update to SAM. I don't know when it came out, but just before the stream started, I also updated my SAM. I was a bit behind there, it seems. So if you guys are using the new SAM version 3, just go check, make sure you've got the latest.
Ground complete. Tau is driving up.
Right, so we have done everything we needed to do. Beacon on. Tell everybody we're getting ready to fire up, and the trim needs to be done still.
Nico, I've also got problems with gross weight.
Okay.
I'm going to do, because mine's been loaded for some time, so it may have stalled. I'm going to do a reload of the FMC and see if that fixes it.
Okay, keep me posted. Before start procedure.
Walk around completed. Before start procedure.
Okay, now what I wanted to say earlier when Max started talking is my coffee is on the bookshelf just out of reach. I just want to grab it quickly. Hold on.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Before start procedure completed.
Morning, Steel. Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Mac, you're not at a high altitude airport. You're still somewhere reasonable that Zibo doesn't say.
I'm still at a very high airport.
Okay, because we might just want to do the test at sea level somewhere.
I just thought I'd do an FMC.
I appreciate it. No,
Reset,
do that.
And
do
then
that.
I can play around.
But, I mean, Zibo told me in so many words that the Zibo mod is not made for what we're doing here. You know, I've been
I appreciate that.
open and upfront about it. We're doing something out of the ordinary with this aircraft because he never programmed this specific specialized pressurization system for operations like this. I just don't want the guys to get the wrong impression. And I mean, Zibo will tell us, listen, you know, like you said the last time, the aircraft wasn't made for it. You know, we basically taking liberties here.
Right, it looks like it was a stalled FMC because I had the load in the EFB, but it wasn't uploading into the FMC, and I couldn't trigger it to do it without doing a reset. Now, my computer's been sat idle and may have gone into a slow down save.
Okay, but now
mode.
you're talking about the weights. That's one thing. Obviously, I had something similar, but what about the temperatures?
Just get in there now. Give me a couple of seconds.
Start number 1 engine. Start number 1 engine.
No, that's gone straight back to 9 degrees again.
Yeah.
Because I haven't, mind you, because I haven't reloaded the aircraft, I haven't reloaded the center display, so I don't know which comes first. Hmm.
25 and 2.
Oh, hot and sunny Caribbean. What I wouldn't do to be there. Don't rub it in. Oh. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Starter cutout. Engine start procedure completed. Flaps 5 set. Taxi lights on.
I feel the same. I feel the same. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
Approaching 2-8.
Before takeoff procedure completed.
On runway 28.
Yeah, we've got to backtrack now.
Have a good flight.
Right, just to let you know, gents, I've just done a reload at the same airport, so it's a complete fresh reboot. And I've still got that temperature error, Nico. I'm now going to move to a UK airport.
Okay. This runway, gentlemen, is 13,124 feet in length. And because of this high altitude, we're currently experiencing a density altitude over 16,000 feet. You'll see how short this thing is when we start to try and take off. It's going to be fun. That's 4,000 meters for the metric, guys. That's how long this thing is. 4 kilometers. Hey Bapino, welcome.
Just cheese and pickled onions.
Help. No, I would prefer the cheese.
Enter into the spirit of your post, Alpino.
100 remaining.
Alright, okay.
On runway 10.
Well, just for the heck of it, it is 21 degrees Celsius here, and it is mostly cloudy. It was raining earlier, but it is still warm, so I don't have a problem with that. Right, let's see if we can do this.
Stabilized.
Toga. Thank you, Steel.
Takeoff thrust set. Throttle hold.
Look how we're running out of runway here. 4 kilometers is nothing. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
V1. Rotate.
Whew, look at that. Yeah,
Positive
you want to
rate.
come and fly here. Gear up.
Gear up.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Told you guys, this is not for the faint-hearted, eh?
Runway turn off, lights off.
Yeah, no, crazy, crazy. And I agree, I love how it's replicated.
Yeah, that temperature business, Nico, seems to be related to high altitude airports.
Alright, okay. We'll see when I land on the other side. It's going to take an hour and a half or 40 minutes to get to the other side, so we'll see. I think if you were there in the real world and you had to have an experience like this, your heart would sit in your throat, man. And you're thinking, oh!
Flaps 1 set. Flaps up. And set.
I need more coffee. Let's drink some. Wow. I know, I know, Scotsman. Wow. What a nice return to the airport here. Wow, it's really cool. Oh, very nice. Let's go have one more look. Ah, that's so cool. So nice. Well, I'm impressed. That was an awesome, awesome turn and flyback. Oh, that was lovely.
Approaching transition. Approaching transition. Transition altitude.
I don't know what scares me more, the high altitude itself or that people actually live here. Look at the imaging. I mean, it's very clear people live here. There's a massive city here. How do they live at 18,000 feet? You must be a very special person to do that, eh?
Just imagine how much oxygen they got in their blood if they come down to our sort of altitude levels, though, Nico.
Won't they get sick? That's a good question, I think. Won't they
Well, you think of these athletes that go and do these high altitude training.
Mm.
And likewise, there was somebody the other day who did, they tried to break the hour record for the number of kilometers cycled in a velodrome up at high altitude because the air resistance is less.
Yeah.
So they can go a bit faster. He failed, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose Scotsmen, we figured out where heroes are born or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I suppose it helps to develop the lungs because if your body needs more oxygen, do the lungs learn to expand more so you can take more air in and things like this? I've no idea.
Well, probably something like that, similar. I don't know. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I agree. Good.
Yeah, I've loaded back at Edinburgh, Nico, and everything loads correctly, temperature-wise, load factors and all the rest of it.
Weights as well?
Weights and everything, yeah.
Okay, so I'll have to speak.
I did do that reset of the FMC with the weights, and that all worked correctly in my version at SLLP, Sierra Lima Papa. So maybe you needed to do a reset the FMC.
I did. Well, I didn't do a reset the FMC, but I reloaded the aircraft purposely like I always do. I never fly if I don't reload this aircraft.
Yeah. But anyway, there's something, maybe it's the temperature thing, it's just causing the FMC to hang up a bit.
Don't know. I'll ask Zibo. I wonder where's Uncle John. He's sitting up there, but he's muted, so I wonder what he's up to.
He's landed, but he must be busy.
Yeah, obviously. Kent says he's living at almost 9,000 feet. Well, then you can tell us a little bit. I mean, but this is another 9,000 feet up. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, maybe not that much. It's like we said, 16,000. So, damn it. What does that feel like?
Mind you, that was density out. See, it's 30,500 feet, isn't it?
Sure, but the fact is it's going to feel like 16. That's what density altitude is about. It feels like you're at 16 because of the heat and the pressures.
Yeah, that is quite high up, Kent, I must admit. You
Yeah.
obviously live in a mountainous area then. Unless you're talking about you live about 9,000 feet along the runway.
When I go to sea level, I feel dizzy for about an hour. Wow. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mind you, when you talk about it, you talk about these Sherpas and everything, and about, climbing the Himalayas and things like that, Nico. I mean, the Sherpas go up there without oxygen, don't they? And they run up the side of the hill. They don't walk up.
Yeah. Like I said, special breed of people.
Yeah.
Wow. In which country
Wow.
are you situated, Kent?
And if you say Holland, I won't believe you.
He's living next to Paul Hill VOR, man. There next to Manchester. He's undercover. I'm saying it to make fun with Paul, but anyway. Mexico.
Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
Thousand to level off.
1,000 to go.
Hey George, welcome. Nice chatting with you yesterday.
Ken, do you know anybody in the airline industry who works for an airline that flies around your area? Especially with 737s, we could do with this high altitude SOP data and the limits and what's what.
Send you a private message, Mark.
Kathmandu's not that bad, Neil.
Mac?
Sorry?
Mac. I sent you a private message, just private.
Okay. Wow. Nice one, Nico. Thanks, Kent. Thank you.
I love my clouds now. Right, so how long have we got? 412 for top of descent. We should be there at 10 past 8 my time, so it's like an hour and 20 minutes flight time left. Did you guys see that video from Austin where they're looking at X-Plane 12 and the clouds and the lighting and rendering and stuff? That's really, really gonna rock our world, eh? Gotcha, Kent. Oh, good luck with that one, Scotsman. Enjoy. Pleasure, pleasure. This lake, Mac, the other day when we first flew over it, me and Paul and the guys, you weren't here, and I said to them, if you go to the, you know, let's call it the correct place, you know, if you just go to a certain place there and you start looking around, I swear, this thing is so big, you will think you're on the ocean, eh? This thing is big, it's huge.
I hear that you are very rich, sir.
Yeah, flaps will work depending on where you are and things like that, but if you're just taking off on the first leg, you should be at the sea, basically flying uphill now. Roger, you here? in Discord.
Yes, I am.
Are you watching my stream on YouTube?
Yes.
You see what X camera can do? I've got this orbit set up. I can do it in different directions and different heights. I can even...
Hang on, I need to come back.
Okay.
Where it was? Let's see again. Yeah, I'm looking now.
Right, you'll see this is the power of X camera. So what's going to happen is this camera turns all around the aircraft, but it also changes its height. So on the one side it will be high, and the other side it will be low. You'll see it changes the elevation of the camera, and then you can also set the distance at which it should do that, and also the level. You know, you can make all kinds of funny camera views with this, which is something you can't do with the default. And there goes the clouds. Damn it. Anyway, so you see now we're high again. Just now we were under the aircraft. So that's one way of doing it. The other thing is then... come on, let me just bring up that thing. The other thing is now we can change direction as well. You see, now we're going the other way. And then what we can also do is a flyby like this. It's totally different. I'll show you the explain default flyby after we've looked at this one. There's so many things that you can do. It's not funny. It's really nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice, I must say that.
Yeah, you see now, Scotsman, this is all automated. You know, I don't need to do anything. You click a button and then it goes. Mac, did you see Steve's comment there of Addis Ababa?
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the default explain flyby. You see, it's totally different. And the other one was also tweaked. So, yeah,
1,000 to go.
in any event, that is basically the story. So we've had a kind of a pressure change as well, it seems, eh? Aircraft's got to compensate now. And the clouds are back. Woohoo! Strange. Yeah, in X camera, what you have, let's do this quickly. I'm gonna just change the capture, right? So in X camera, you've got this menu at the bottom that you can activate or not. So you can go into the cabin, and then you've got all your different views. And obviously, I mean, you can look around, doesn't matter where you do. So just go back to the cabin seat. See, I chose this seat for this lady, guys, I'm honest, okay. Don't know who he is, but he's fortunately sitting that side. So, you see, you can go different views, you know, just with a click. You can set up everything. And you can go on the outside and have different views on the outside. There's an orbit a little bit closer. The cruise once we did, the flyby we did, there's another orbit one. And then that one is specifically set to 100 meters. Or 100 feet, whatever. I can't remember what the units of measure is. I think it's 100 feet. Could be. Doesn't matter. You guys can play with it. The fact of the matter is, sometimes when I start a video, I will put this one on, then you can see the airport and everything else, you know, with it. So and then obviously we've got all the default ones. The ones in green are the ones that I've basically programmed into my keypad. So if I press numlock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got different ones.
And those are the green ones you mean then, or what?
Yeah, the green ones here at the bottom, those are these ones. So that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 7, 8, 9. So just by the click of a button, I don't have to go to the menu, but it's there. Steel, there is an update, but it's a open beta. I'm running the open beta, so I don't know when last you checked their website. There definitely was one for me that I didn't even know existed, and I got it about a week or so ago. I've got no idea when it came out, to be honest, so just check. Yes, Steve, you can. Yeah, you can by just going to your keyboard commands. You can actually assign your views to some button or so. So check how this differs from SimBrief, eh? Look at that wind that Active Skies actually got in here. 019 at 01 knots. Oh, 3802, that is by... Oh, just changed. Ah, okay. Remus is the next one. 0209. That is at Baluk. Okay. 008 2. Goodness. The wind changes direction, but not so much the strength. Wow. Then we've got Mixer 311 at 2. Okay, and then we have top of descent, it seems. Yes. So let's go there. Forecast. So SPSO, ETA into hours. So this is a forecast. 270 at 9. That's fine. 19 QNH 1015. So let's go have a look. See. Temperature will be 22. Gives 7 and 1015 estimate. Right, so let's use these weathers today. So we're gonna use that one. 12. Obviously. So 340 at what? 330 at 4. Or 309 at 1. And 161 at 1. Okay, so 2.1. There you go. High altitude, 10,000 feet or above on the airport elevation, and short field, anything, I would say 1,800 meters or less on the runway if it's still capable of handling the Boeing. So if you go to John Wayne in America on the west coast, just have a look, see what that airport runway length is, because I would say that is one of the shortest practical runways to take off from, even with bleed air in a hot environment. There are in the Scandinavian countries plenty of shorter runways, but with the density altitude being in the minuses, the air is so thick it feels like a 12,000 foot runway even if it's shorter. So yeah, that's the rule of thumb. You're welcome. Kent, it sounds so beautiful where you stay. Right, 1015 we said. Let's just check it. 1015. Right, let's go look at the approach chart. Okay, we're going to do the ILS on runway 22 with a bit of an arc. There's a 9 DME arc from Sierra Charlie Oscar.
I'm starving. A pie and a beer maybe.
$1,600 is the intercept altitude. We'll go for brakes 3. As far as I can remember, I think this is where we started the world tour. The Avaya world tour was done starting and ending at this airport, guys. Just FYI, if memory serves me correctly. There is 300. I understand, Scotsman.
I see Zibo's let you off the hook tonight.
Thus far, Uncle John, but it's an early night still.
Nico, the data I'm looking at the moment says the max altitude takeoff for a standard NG is 8,400 feet.
Yeah, but if you go to that Boeing 737 NG site in the UK, it tells you that it's 10,000 there. I might have actually made a note of density altitude, because if it's 8,000 feet, you can easily get to a 10,000 feet with density altitude.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But anyway, if you guys look at my screen now, this is John Wayne, KSNA, that we were just talking about. This is 5,700 foot on that runway. I would hate to even try and take off on a shorter runway. This thing is freaking short for a Boeing. And even with your bleeds off takeoff, I won't put more than 150 packs in the aircraft. It's going to be too heavy, you're going to die. So this is a good measuring tool, you know, call it a ruler, measuring tape, measuring tool, whatever, you know, yardstick to say to you, you know, don't try something shorter, and make sure you know how to take off from this thing. 5,700 feet is I don't know how many meters that is. Let's see. 5,700 feet meters. Come on. That's 1,737 meters. Now remember I said 1.8. We've got a runway that's 1,800 meters. I think that's Port Elizabeth, FAPE, and there you also you don't overload your aircraft, and you spool up and you make sure you go. And that extra 50 meters that I'm talking about there is nothing. So if you take off here, I would also suggest flaps 10. Don't do flaps 5. Do flaps 10. Just a couple of things to take into consideration.
John Reynolds donated $5.
Okay. Mr. John Reynolds, thank you very much for your contribution, sir.
A pleasure. Nico, I'm fully aware of the costs of running our VA, and they don't get paid automatically by somebody in the ether, so we have to make sure it gets paid.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I got another donation from one of the guys here in Discord earlier as well, and I thank you guys for it. Thanks so much.
To whoever that was, bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Scotsman, you should be fine, my friend, but this is all part of why we created this tour, is to put you in a situation where you need to start to think about how you flight plan, what the considerations are for weight and fuel and performance. So even if you crash, don't worry about it. We've had quite a few reports of guys crashing in this tour. It is a challenge, so don't be too heavy on yourself. Okay, just enjoy it. The point is you need to learn, you need to start thinking, further than just being a mindless sim pilot. I know a lot of guys fly haphazard, they just get in and go and all these things. We just want to teach the guys to just think a little bit more.
Message, Nico.
I've just replied.
Okay.
Thank you, Shane. Exactly. I tell you what, in the early 2000s, when I was still trying to build a flying career and had the opportunity to fly a lot, even way back then with FS 98 and FS9, I plenty of days took my computer to the hangar and to some of the other guys' homes to show them the simulator, because at that point in time it was still early days. The guys, and even till very recently, they didn't find any value in the simulator. They thought it was a game, and so many times the guy said to me, wow, we didn't know this and we didn't know that. And it's funny, I've flown with real world guys many times, and I remember in my early days, I would ask the guys something silly like, what's a transponder for? And they can't even answer me. And I think to myself, this is a licensed pilot that literally flies You know, he's probably a VFR guy at that stage, you know, not the IFR guy. So, and he doesn't understand it. He knows the thing in South Africa needs to be set to 2000, but he doesn't know the reason for it and all these things. And I knew, and I was sitting next to this guy and he was flying me around, and I was thinking, no, man, no, this is wrong. And I've seen the simulator world mature. I've dealt with many guys building real world flight sims over the years that are CAA certified here in South Africa, and there's just one guy in particular, Pierre. I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but I mean, we've had good times together, and I've had the privilege of flying some of his, you know, CAA approved simulators, and it's amazing just how much more, this was the point of the conversation, is how much more I knew from simulation, you know, compared to some of the real world guys I used to fly with. Boggled my mind some days, eh? So anyway, to make a long story short, just to add another tail to this dog, is I would highly recommend anybody who wants to fly in real world, get yourself a decent simulator. Start learning. You're gonna cut your time in the air in half, if not more, if you just do it properly. I had a friend, now today he's a very accomplished commercial pilot. I remember one day he told me he nearly died, and I asked him, but why? He said to me, no, I mean, him and I used to fly simulator together, and that was what was so strange for me. He had to fly down to Natal somewhere on the coast, and he had to go over the Lesotho mountains, and in his planning he never accounted for the mountains. Somehow he missed it, you know. And he said to me afterwards he will never fly another flight again without flying it in the simulator to get the feel of it, because he was flying some other Piper 180 or something, and he eventually had to relay messages from SA Airlink onto ATC, and they had to get him out of a mess. He nearly freaking died because he didn't fly the route first with the sim. Now, I was another fox in those days. I would always fly in the sim first, you know, before I would go for another lesson or go fly somewhere. I would fly in the sim, check it out. Tomorrow you get there in the real thing, you've got a 51% idea of already what's going to happen, you know. That's just how I did it, and I found great value, and I would always recommend anybody else to do the same. That's true, Kent, but it's not just about the models or the performance. You know, we're spoiled now with the Zibo mod and what Twixter and Zibo has done here, but it's about the mountains, it's about the weather, it's about, you know, all kinds of things like that. And now that we've got orthos, you know, you've got things that you can point out as a little memory marker. Oh, if I get there, I need to start thinking about something else. You know, stuff like that. It's about much more than just the model. Exactly the point. Terrain is one of the biggest killers, especially when the VFR guys go into IFR all of a sudden, you know, and you should never do that.
Fine with the weather.
Oh yeah, don't play with the weather. I'd rather land. We've lost a couple of guys who thought they were cowboys and went into that fog, and they never came out. I'm talking now of even Air Force pilots. Yes, some of the most skilled Air Force pilots in this country have flown aircraft into the mountain just because they thought they were supermen.
Feel tired today.
You know, if you don't have the right guidance, the right equipment, you just don't do things like that. And that's also why I always made a point, 9 out of 10 times, I only flew with married guys. I didn't fly with guys who were not married, because I knew that they, you know, have a family to go back to, so their planning is naturally better than these cowboys who think the sun shines out of their backsides, you know, and they don't understand the risk yet, you know, young and itchy, and there they go. I've also told this story a few times already on streams, and for the new guys, we used to call them pumpkin farmers. You don't fly with pumpkin farmers. You know, if you sit there by the airport, think about this, and you sit there in the cafe. We've got here by Grand Central, we've got the Harvard Cafe, I think was the place called. So you sit there and you watch these young pilots. Some of these guys are normal, natural guys. They They just walk normally. But then you get those guys with the big heads and the pumpkins that they carry under their arms. You know, they strut like little cockerels. Those are the guys you never fly with, because inevitably that's the guy that's going to try and do some trick to try and impress you, to show you what he knows. I don't have time for that, because just now he, you know, does something stupid and then nobody goes home. So I don't go close to the pumpkin farmers. Yeah, those guys carrying the lumber. Now, when you see those cockerels strutting around with their arms out, you know, yeah, no, thank you. Don't fly with them. Check these authors. Not bad, eh? Really nice. Exactly, Jibs. Now, you've got to know your limits. You've got to understand what you can and what you cannot do. You guys remind me of a meme I saw the other day on Facebook. This young man and the girl were sitting in some coffee shop, probably at an airport as well. And Hercules C-130 came past, and he was referring to the plane, and he said to this girl, "You see, that's a C-130. Well, I fly a C-150." It's funny. She obviously doesn't know what a C-150 is. But I think he impressed her. These freaking mountains are high. I know I keep on saying it, but damn it. I mean, we're at 32,000 and they are right below us. Woo! Goodness, Jibs. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I one day had a car that sank. I want to tell you that story quickly while we're sitting here talking nonsense. I had a Renault Megane and it went in for a service. And there was like a hell of a thunderstorm here in Johannesburg, but a massive one. And the guys phoned me from the garage and they said to me, "Sir, I'm sorry to tell you, but your car's been written off." So what happened was all the vehicles were parked in an underground garage facility, storage place underneath the dealership. And when the water came, it just flooded everything and I lost my car. So I got some discount on a new one. They were at least good enough to help with that. And I bought a new one. That was funny. First time ever in my life I had a car drown on me. And there's top of descent coming into view now. This is such a strange approach into this airport. You have to go up there and come down and then you have an arc because you actually come in from that side. Anyway, we'll let it go. One of my colleagues had dealings with a customer over many years that flew helicopters and he died. That guy was a cowboy in a helicopter in an R44 and he flew into mist as well. Instead of just landing and waiting it out, he was in a hurry. So we've all got stories about guys, flying at the wrong time, eh? Scotsman, you must just get your altitude correct. If you are in any doubt, guys, anybody listening and watching the stream, these mountains are high. They're really high. If you are in doubt of flight levels and things, let SimBrief work it out for you, or use little nav map and make sure that you get the elevation profile on screen so you can see that you don't bump into them. I mean, we literally at 32,000 and these mountains are right here. I'm not sure how high they are, but they're close. They're not very far away. Yeah, that Kobe Bryant one was a silly accident in my opinion. It should never have happened. It was so avoidable. I still cannot believe that guy didn't just pull out or land and just waited it out. It's very similar to this guy of the R44 I told you about. It's crazy. Google is your friend. Little nav map, you'll have it in 2 seconds. It is an amazing thing. Let me show you on screen here. That's also little nav map that creates this Avitab map for me with my what's his name on, with my route. So there you go. This is little nav map. So if I go and fetch my route from Navigraph, I can go here to flight plan and new flight plan from route description. So I'm just gonna bump it in there. Usually it doesn't like any other inscription, so I usually just take out the runways and the via, so your transition. So then you click the route and there you go. So there is the basic route and basic information, and if you go to your window and you go to the elevation profile, there you can see, so your Mora is there. That is your minimum safe altitude is 17.5, and there you can see, look at these peaks, and then obviously you set your altitude where you want to fly and things like that. I actually closed the this one over here, we're flying at 32, so that gives you an indication, you know, of where you're at. So you see, if you bring your mouse down at the bottom, it's got a little ring at the top that shows you where you are in your flight plan and all. This is really awesome. In my mind, Scotsman, this is probably the most handy little flight planning tool ever. You can create profiles for any aircraft in it, like the Zibo and stuff. You can really do a lot. And if you want to add procedures, let's do a procedure on. Oh, I've already done it, but there. See, you can add your procedures, and it's so easy to use. If you It doesn't like that airport. Let's take the next one quickly. If you want to add a procedure, you can literally go there, show arrival procedures. You know, then you've got a list. See, you can change things. So we're gonna be on V, and there you go. That's the one we want. So all we do now is we insert it, and there you go. You know, so you can visually build things. You can even click on a route and drag it, create your own waypoints. It's very simple, and you can obviously then export everything, and you know, the way it should be. And then just to show you this, I mean, that's obviously my route. Oh goodness, let's just go out a little bit. You know, when you want to put it into your simulator, all you do is click on File and Image for AVI tab. Let me show you again. File, you see there, Save Map Image for AVI tab. Click OK. It will find that it's going to overwrite the old one now. Oh, it's a different name, so it won't. Anyway, yeah, but this is a magic tool. I think I don't probably use 10% of it. I use very little of it. Ah, that's the wrong one. You see now, if you zoom in, you see there now it's got the arc in there that I've just added. So it's amazing. It does. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've closed it now. If you hold your mouse over it or you right click on it, you can show the airport information. It gives you the weather and runways and elevations. It is a magnificent tool. Really good one. I can't even remember what we used before this one, but the other one, we always thought it was really good, and then we got this one and we go, oh, wow, that was a good find that day. I found little navmap. No, I haven't really looked at that. I mean, it's supposed to be synchronized, you know, depending on your setting in the EFB. So I don't really pay attention to that one, but I'll have a look when when I fly again, now that you've mentioned it. Yeah, nat tracks and all. No, little nav map is cool, man. It's like what FS Commander did, or what was that one? FS Navigator did in the old days. FS Navigator was my favorite go-to in the old days. It was a pity when they stopped it, but little nav map's gone to the next level. Absolutely, Kent. Yeah, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. If you take the time to go through that thing, it blows your mind. What it can do, it's magnificent.
That primary and secondary altimeter reading business, Kent, I think is purposely built in to deviate, because you are allowed a deviation between primary and secondary. You're actually allowed a deviation in the altimeter settings between first pilot and co-pilot.
There must be something to it. I know that they don't usually correspond 100%, but if it's digital, one would think it should be, you know.
Yeah, I think Zibo purposely built in minor difference.
The purpose being?
Realism, because in the real aircraft, the primary and backup don't correspond 100%.
Okay.
Just to get back to little nav map, you guys have now given me some more food for thought. So just to show you guys, if you right click on the airport and you click on show the information, this is all the information that you can get here. I'll show you just now. Anyway, you see we've got all kinds of things here that we can have a look at, and there's the runway and the comms procedures. That's not important. So yeah, it's got a lot of information here. You can even go and enable all kinds of other nice to haves. You know, your Victor and Jet Airways. Oh, you can't see it, it's now hidden there at the back. Let me just bring it down. So you've got all these little icons, everything that you can actually go and enable, and then what you can do is you hold control and you click plus, and every time you click plus it adds more. Look, it overwhelms you at some point in time with all the information, you know, that's on there, and then you can go back and disable some of the things.
Have you mentioned, Nico, that it's actually also, you can update the AirAct database with your Navigraph data, so all the nav databases are all agreeable?
Yes, yeah, you can do that. So I've actually set mine up here to also not only use the AirAct. I've also got the different flight simulators. So I've got 2020 P3D4 no longer, but 5 is there, Explain is there, and then you can set it to use your AirAct specifically for Navigraph. But I use the hybrid one. You know, and there's lots and lots that you can do with this baby. It goes crazy. If you really get into it, you'll spend weeks and weeks trying to figure it out. Let's close it.
I was thinking about little nav map the other day. I saw Flight Deck to Sim was given a copy of the new to be released Just Flight Hawk. I think it was for 2020, and he flew the Mach Loop in Wales.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was thinking, remembering when we did the Mach Loop, programmed it all up in little nav map.
Yeah. Yes, you can also change the maps. There are different styles of maps. You can set it to actually incorporate the sun cycles. So what happens is during the night, instead of having this bright map, it will be dimmed out. You can see the shadow move over the actual map. Yeah, that's a cool little thing. Oh yes, that's the one I wanted to show you. Thank you, Steve. Let's grab that edge quickly. So, other e6bx.com, and over here you've got the density altitude. So all you do is you type in the airport. Well, let's take the one where we were, SLLP. click on go, it finds the information for you, and there it shows you your density. Altitude is still over 16,000. So yeah, that's how we get the information.
Hey Nico, once you get the density altitude, do you do anything special with your altitude select, or like when you put your altitude in there, or is it just for reference?
No. It's for reference, because that will give you some kind of feeling as to how many passengers, what the load should be. You know, you can't take off with an aircraft weighing 70 tons. It's just not going to work. You know, so you have to reduce the weight. You have to do proper planning. You have to look at the performance. You know, that's why I say don't go more than 150 passengers and 1 ton of cargo, because you're not going to lift off. You know, look how close I made it on this run, and I was exactly at, I think, 700 kilograms weight. It's here in my OFP. 150 packs and 700 kilograms cargo, and I almost didn't make it. You know, so it gives you an indication that even though you are physically at 13,000, let's make it 13 and a half. Okay, it gives you an indication now that you're at 16, you should take care.
Right. So, like, I understand that you're with the density altitude, you're going to feel higher. Will you get indications once you set the altimeter? Like, will the airport, like, I know we had an issue, or you had an issue where it didn't actually match up perfectly with the elevation, but with that higher pressure altitude, will you get a different actual reading on your how high you are on your indication?
It shouldn't. It should actually tell you how high you are, but the one warning that you will get, which I did get, is the altitude horn. It's going to tell you that you're above 10,000 and you're not pressurized. You're going to definitely get the altitude horn. But it should, in theory, it should match, the altitudes should match, because you're giving it the baro setting, your QNH or altimeter, whatever you guys want to call it. So it should actually match. It is my opinion at this stage, and it needs to still be verified, and then I'll speak to Zibo about it. But I think there's a calculation issue here with his system. Yeah.
Right, that makes sense. And I know, like, I don't have experience on 737s, but with C-17s, when we went to La Paz, Bolivia, we had to do special things to make sure that the drop down mask don't drop down, because when you're landing landing above 10,000 feet.
Exactly. So what I do, if you watch my stream, you'll see I put on my mask, because legally you're required to have oxygen on yourself for 30 minutes before takeoff. To make sure that you don't make a cock up of setting everything up. Okay, then what I also do is I run the air starter unit, and I start pressurizing the cabin, because I need to equalize, you know, the pressure inside and outside. And in the Zibo, you'll see that the doors are locked. You cannot open the doors because you're above 10,000 and the altitude warning is on. Okay, so the way to fix that is I switch the ASU on, and I just wait a few minutes. You know, just make sure that it equalizes. You know, whether it needs to go up or down, it's not that important. That's the procedure. You can see it in my streams. Once that's going, I keep my mask on. You'll hear the heavy breathing in the background until I've got the APU running and getting my pressure from the built-in pressurization system. You know, so that's just my procedures, and you know, to prevent hypoxia and you know, make it more real.
Yeah, no, I watched your stream, but that's a great recap of it for people that hadn't maybe watched it.
Yeah, so that's what it's about. Right, we're almost at top of descent. Yeah, there we go.
Good evening.
Hello.
I hear you're on top of descent.
Yes, sir. You came just in time. Are you okay, Owen?
Yeah, fine.
Good. How's your flight going, Shane?
Oh, I landed right before you took off. I was just hanging out and watching your
Okay,
flight.
okay, cool. I forgot you
Hey,
said so, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was gonna. I know when I first installed this, and maybe this will help for everybody else. I think there's a Cloudscape and a SkyScape.
Yes.
I think the SkyScape is what I'm running, but when I put the Cloudscape on, it took up, like, it dropped my frames down way down.
It probably will, yeah, because the two will be clashing. Now, if you want to use enhanced SkyScapes like I'm using, that needs to be the only product that you have running. You can't mix it.
Yeah,
with
no,
other
that's what
stuff,
I am.
yeah.
I think when I downloaded it, I was confused because I think they both came together, so I thought they were supposed to work together.
Okay, no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm using yours, and they're perfect, man. It's incredible. It took this long to get those type of clouds.
Yeah, no, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah, it's so cool when you break out like 900-foot ceilings or something.
Oh, yes.
Or you're just cloud surfing right on top of them.
Yeah.
And you know, Nico, I think people, I know I probably did, just take it for granted that you don't really make a lot of people pay to get on your Discord, and you don't push people to give money and stuff, donations. But I think of all the flight community, especially with Zibo, you provide the most. I mean, you and your friends and people that are helping you provide, I mean, the most up-to-date information and real-time help of anybody out there. And I would definitely encourage people that maybe are just watching streams to think about supporting you and your team.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Shane.
Yeah, those comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're thankful we've got a lot of good guys in the background.
Yep.
Who's online now? Mac, Paul. There's too many to name, and they're all there willing to help.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been here since last, I don't know, February or something, and just being able, I mean, you guys are like family to me, but you guys are just fantastic when it comes to, like I said, I think people take for granted, almost every other streamer, when you go to their Discord, you've got to pay to be a monthly member and all that type stuff, where y'all are providing that basically for free. You're just welcoming everybody in, and you know, I know I spend hours either watching your videos or on the Discord,
yeah,
and stuff like that. So yeah. I think sometimes people just take it for granted what you're doing.
Thanks, man. You know, one day me and Twixter sat down and we had a talk. And Twixter, if you listening, I miss those talks, man. I haven't spoken to him in a while. We used to talk for a long time together, and he would give me instruction on many things, because in all honesty, I mean, when I started helping on the Zibo side, all the support I did and everything that I'm still doing, there are so many things that the Zibo mod will bite you with that the other model from PMDG will not bite you with. And I grew up with the PMDG. I love PMDG. I've still got the NGXU, and if it wasn't for the fact that my Office 365 is killing that freaking you know, when it does the license check, it kills my P3D. I would have loved to fly it a little bit more, but now I can't. I'm just stuck, and I don't see a workaround yet. But the fact of the matter is, coming from there, coming here, I realized I didn't know much, because so much is automated and so much is just given easier. You know, I mean, I've got thousands of hours on that airframe, and I hit my head here and I realized, bloody hell, I don't know anything, not compared to what I should know. And Twixter took me under his wing and he started teaching me a lot of things that I've brought into some of my paperwork. You'll see me mention Twixter a few times in the training checklist and in the install guide and all. And that guy really meant the world to me at that stage, building me up, getting, you know, my knowledge to a level where we could actually go forward with the Zibo. And I remember sitting talking with him about altitude restrictions and how the real aircraft would handle it compared to just a flight sim game kind of a system. And it was, no, but I tell you, and one of the things, sorry, and this is why I wanted to say that, is we were talking in the beginning of integrating Navigraph into the Zibo. And he said to me, remember, this is a free project. We don't want to bring commercial stuff in here. So eventually the compromise that you all know about now was made, and Zibo gives the option that you can utilize Navigraph now with the Zibo mod. But you know, it was an interesting discussion at that point in time, the resistance against, you know, bringing commercial stuff in, because it was supposed to be free. And based upon that discussion and the whole story, then, you know, to and fro in that time frame, I decided I'm not gonna do the paid Discord thing. I'm not gonna go and commercialize my side of things, because then it's not, and this was Twixter's word, in the spirit of the project. See what I'm saying? So if other guys do it, that's up to them. They're free to do it. It's not a problem. But that's where me and Twixter and Zibo and everybody involved at that time were at, and it just stayed. It stuck like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, and I mean, that's awesome that people still stick by their principles like you have, and stuff like that. But I still think that we, as the community that kind of come here, take for granted that we can still kind of support y'all through donations and stuff like that. And again, I was bad. I've been here for a year, and this first time I had thought about giving it, I just took for granted that y'all are just doing this for fun, and you know, you still need extra money and whatever and stuff like that. So
yeah, Shane, we are definitely doing it for fun. This is our hobby, but unfortunately sometimes it does cost money. It is just a fact of life, you know. And
well, and it becomes a job, because like photography, you know, I do sports photography, and I love doing it, and I did it for free for a while, but it starts to become a job. So
yes,
getting people that support you, and I mean, being on the channel and that helps and everything, but it also helps to support all the time away from your family and everything else. So I say all that to say, again, I thank all of y'all, and I appreciate all of y'all for everything you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. Kent, how did you meet and start with the creator of Zibo? Okay, what happened was, I made friends with Jorge. Jorge, Audiobird and Zibo started the whole project, and then Twixter joined at some point in time. And Jorge is a real world pilot, or was a real world pilot, not sure where he's at right now in the world. And I became friends with him, and I used to hang out with him, and things just started to evolve. I started doing support on Facebook with the Zibo community group. I helped build that community group to a couple of thousand users there. Then I left as admin. Me and Jorge then started what was supposed to be the official Zibo Facebook group, which then turned into the Zibo Pilots group, because Jorge left. Jorge and Audiobird left at the same time, so they got excused out of the group. In all of that, obviously I started speaking with Zibo himself, with Lubos, and we obviously started building a friendship, and you know, it just went from strength to strength. You know, just kept on helping where I could, because I did quite a few different things in the project, not just the support. And then obviously you know, running the pilots group and starting Discord, organizing training, doing, you know, the videos. It just grew from there, you know, slowly but surely. Me and Lubos just became friends, you know, and then we started making other friends, you know, and obviously in the middle of it all was Twixter, and now there's Yeri, and now all the pilots that we have here, Sasso for one that comes here, Jan, Nubiola, great guys, great guys, you know, it's an honor and a privilege to be associated with these guys. Alex as well, yeah, Alex came into the project specifically for Ian and all the new technology, because Sasso and his company doesn't have that kind of fancy stuff, and Zibo doesn't put anything into this model that is not proven by the real pilots, you know, so he's very great on that.
1000 to level off.
Oh, and I didn't mean to leave the most important person of all, Zibo, if you're watching or watch later. Thank you for everything you do, because without you, probably we wouldn't have any.
No, nothing of this would be there.
Oh yeah, Zibo, yeah.
Yeah, no, can't forget Lubos.
All three of them.
Yeah, all three. And the computer that he's got, you know, I mean, you need to remember that. You know what was interesting? I want to tell you guys something. I don't know how many of you know this. When he was still programming the mod in XLua, he wrote most of the code in Node++. You know, it's text. He just wrote it there. The other day we had an issue. He actually wrote one of the fixes on his mobile phone and he sent it to me to test. The guy's unreal. We love him to bits.
Yeah, it's debatable whether Lubus is one of twins called Lubus or one of triplets called Lubus. Because we're not certain whether he does 12-hour shifts each or 8-hour shifts each.
But he doesn't stop. It's funny. Johan Jacobs always says he's an alien. He says he can't be human. It's funny. I remember one day him and Jorge had a chat, and Jorge asked him, "Are you actually human?" And he came back with some reply like he's a robot. You know, it was so funny. We've had great fun. Yeah. This project came right at the right time for me. I was going through a bit of a pain in the simulation world, you know, and it was God sent for me, you know, to get involved with honorable people for a change, and people where I could learn from them and they could learn from me too, and we could actually work together. It was just amazing. It just happened. Yeah.
Are you Disco?
No, I'm Nico. How are you, Vulkan?
I'm fine, and you, sir?
Yeah, I'm also good. Thanks. About to land almost. Getting a bit nostalgic here as well, but anyway, we'll snap out of it just now.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Let me check.
Well, if you made it, Scotsman, you made it. I hope we're going to see a video of some sorts later on. I've really grown to like your videos and stuff there on the pilots group, so I hope we see something.
Greetings all.
Hello, hello. Okay, I'm just checking the latest ATIS. I see here it says remark bird hazard runway 22.
Don't hit the birds.
No, I'll try. I see we've had a...
Is that feathered ones or otherwise, Nico?
I presume feathered ones.
Hopefully it's
mate.
not penguins.
1000 to level off.
I just have to recalculate this now, so that's 5.
1000 to level off.
That's another thing I meant to ask Zibo. Does the I'm sorry, Nico. Does the ISA, have they changed that coding? Or anything? Is that play a more pivotal role in anything in the aircraft?
Yes, it does. It does. The ISA not so much. It does, but the more important thing is the QNH. If the QNH on your forecast page is incorrect, you're going to have an altitude problem in your approach.
Right.
That is used as the reference point for calculating the altitude. So
Yeah,
that
and
has to be right.
I'd always updated that, but I've seen you updating the ISA more and more, so I didn't know if any coding had been changed.
When I'm in area, I don't do the ISA, I must admit. Okay, so and it's never killed me, you know. But for the interest sake of doing it more properly, I just do it when I stream like this.
Oh yeah, no, 100% agree. I'm kind of like you. Sometimes I get in a hurry and don't take the time to go look it up. And I've never had an issue with it. I just wanted to make sure they hadn't changed anything.
No, the changes is definitely on the QNH side. You have to have the right altimeter, because if you don't, you can have an a wrong indicated altitude, and your approach is going to probably be wrong somewhere. Especially with Ian, because remember, Ian runs off your FMC, and if you're at the wrong QNH, Ian will be at the wrong altitude very definitely. Sorry, Hakan.
There is a airplane crash for Turkish Airlines in Amsterdam because of this reason.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, check flight investigations. I don't remember which was publishing in National Geographic in the past.
Okay.
But it was pretty dramatic.
Ouch, okay. Thanks, Hakan.
Yeah.
And not to promote any other YouTubers, so I won't say the name.
that.
Sorry.
But one of the YouTubers on here, he's been going through and going over a lot of the crashes and stuff like that. Really interesting to follow him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. I must be honest with you guys, I do not watch many YouTubers. I've got a very select few that I actually watch. My time is just too limited. I don't have the luxury of just doing that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but mostly don't.
Approaching transition.
Where is Pisco?
No idea. No idea.
I'm in which country?
Well, we are now, I think this is Peru. We're gonna land at,
Peru.
yeah, SPSO or something. Let me see. Yeah, in Pisco. It's PIO in IATA and SPSO in ICAO. That's okay, Scotsman. As long as you had fun, buddy. As long as you enjoyed landing there. And that, obviously, you know, is just a taste of what's to come, you know. So just, you know, settle in, enjoy yourself. Chain question for you.
Yes, sir.
On the chat, there's a question for you. Hello, Leroy. I think what you need to do, Leroy, is come talk with Shane afterwards, maybe, because there's a reason he didn't give the name, you know, so... Okay.
1000 to level off.
Yeah, you guys must be careful what you say on stream, you know, the internet doesn't forget, and Some
Flaps
people
5
can
set.
get offended for no reason whatsoever sometimes.
Flaps 15 set.
Thanks, Scotsman.
Landing rates, 1.
Right, speed brake armed, packs on, auto brake set, lights. Linda will handle the rest. Let's go.
Flaps 30 set.
Landing rates, 135.
Woo. Don't know, man. No, we'll see. And you know what?
Localizer capture.
I almost didn't capture my glide slope. As it went through, I realized I didn't do it. I didn't press the approach button. Oops.
The only thing you should do that. Why don't you do that?
I don't know, I'm having fun with my buddy Zakan, and then my mind left me for 1 second.
This is a kind of lessons learned.
Yes, you see.
During approaching with an airplane, you shouldn't talk with anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
You need a sterile flight deck.
Yep.
Exactly. I 100 times warned him before.
I'm sorry, sir.
2.
Yeah, he's going to learn. I'm ambitious to teach him.
Thanks, Hakan. As long as you don't lose your patience with me, that's fine.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
400.
Could have played the co-pilot, Hakan.
Approaching minimums.
Say again, sir. I'm sorry. I'm focusing on Nico's final approach. But if you say again, I will tell you.
Said you could have played the co-pilot and tell him to press the approach knob.
100.
Ah, I see. What about Linda?
She doesn't do that.
She's asleep.
Ah,
50,
okay.
40, 30, 20.
He's got 25 co-pilots watching.
She didn't have a good sleep last night.
Reverse unlocked.
Well, there you go. There's minus
went out,
41. Yeah, I heard that.
Auto brake and
There's minus
Mine-
41.
No, not acceptable. It's
Very nice.
Ah,
no, not nice. You
Well,
know,
not if you're a real not for real life. It's not nice. 'Cause
Yeah.
you need to be probably 150ish or more.
60 knots.
yeah, it's true. Right.
Yeah, I think in the 737-800, most of the guys talk about 130 or more. It's the better one.
But,
Anyway.
I am in real time, by the way, real life.
Okay. Anyway, listen. I tried my best, okay?
You?
Yes. I tried.
was a nice
Hey.
landing, Nico.
It's better than 700 feet per minute.
Of course. There's no chiropractic bills now, and the company's not getting sued and all this other nonsense, you know?
And with it new asphalt, it's better to land a bit softer.
Yeah, because it needs to settle.
Yeah.
And at high altitude, you don't want to bounce too high because you'll bounce a lot higher than normal.
This is
Yeah.
this is not so high, Mac.
Yeah, fortunately.
Sea level.
Oh, right, sorry.
No, but you're right for the other side
I can see the sea there.
of the landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
1, 2, 3.
Minus 41, not acceptable. I don't accept that.
That's fine now. And we'll change the tires just now. We'll take the skids off, the skid marks off.
Yeah.
He never accepts anything,
After
Hakan,
landing
always.
procedure completed.
No. You know, sometimes I say this is wonderful, perfect, etc.
Yeah, it's the shimmy bearing check, isn't it, though, they need to do?
Of course, yeah, they'll have to do.
The most important fact, he forget pressing the button. So the only thing he must do during that flight, but he's forgetting the most important thing. So
Hakan, I want to tell you a story.
Got it.
Yeah, okay, I did catch it, but I want to tell you another story. It's about the same principle. You had one job to do and you can't do it. I got to a supplier the other day, and the security guard at the gate has got only one job, and that's to sign me in and lift the boom, you know? And she couldn't find a pen. She couldn't sign me in. I got out and got a pen out of my laptop bag, and I said, wait, I'll sign, don't worry. And I shook my head when I left it. I said, damn it, you had one job. You can't even do that.
Sometimes everything is something happened.
You should have given her a pen that's run out, Nika, and told her it was writing in invisible ink.
She would have probably believed me. Hey, Stuart. Steve, I got an update. I don't know when it was released, but when I checked it just before the flight, there was an update for me, both on the developer pack as well as in SAM itself. There was an update that I got. Ooh, still really so close. I didn't realize. I don't know why I went there. I just thought to myself, you know what? While I'm setting up, let's check it, and boom, it was there.
Nico, great stream. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Cheers, Ken. Stay well. By the way, guys, if you guys buy this airport, do not change the folder name. I have a certain way of installing my scenery where it makes sense for me, and it cost me. I had to actually contact the developer, and strangely enough, he replied, and he told me it's because the problem I had was because I renamed the folder. So if you guys buy the scenery from the link that I provided, please don't change the folder name.
$17.
Yeah.
Harkin, you're buying it for us?
You see now he plays dead. He didn't hear you.
I know, I can see him.
Did you say it to me? Sorry. I didn't get. I'm sorry. Could you please say again? What did you say?
I said you're offering to buy it for us.
It depends on you. If you like to buy, you can, but I don't, because money is so valuable thing. Maybe you can make one. Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make it.
Okay, so shutdown procedure. Stuart, does runway elevation make a difference to takeoff performance? Yes, it will, especially in this tour. The airports where we operate right now are more than 10,000 feet in elevation, and if you watch my streams flying these high altitude things, you will see that I had a 4 kilometer, it's 4,000 meters. I can't remember the feet in length. Hang on, let me have a look. I'll tell you now. And we ran out. We literally ran out. If the performance is wrong, you're gonna die. It's 13,124 feet, and we barely got in the air with a light load. So yes, the performance definitely in the Zibo and in X-Plane is simulated with high altitude and low
Shutdown
density
procedure
or high
complete.
density. So be careful. Practice. Go play with this.
Hey Nico, did you have you tried going to like flaps? I think 15 maybe on the takeoff.
No, I haven't. I've tried to dramatize it a little bit. At one of the next airports when we're up high again, let's do that. Just remind me, because it doesn't even, cross my mind. Let's go try a 10 or a 15. See what we can do.
Yeah, I think 15. I'd have to go back and read the limits, but I think you can do a flaps 15 takeoff.
You should be, but the question then becomes cost versus benefit. Cost is going to be drag. Benefit, are you really going to get off the ground quicker with more drag? See what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll have to go play with it. We'll literally have to go and see how it's going to affect us.
Are you engineer?
Not anymore.
I see that people.
You're crazy, Hakan.
I am.
But we still love you.
I love you too. By the way, telling crazy to someone in Turkey, good. But in English.
That he doesn't understand you. Yeah, otherwise he's gonna whack you. So why don't we see the rest of these things? Ground handling. Oh, and my son's getting angry now. There we go.
As far as I understood, he's growing as well.
Yeah, no, he's getting older and older, and he's getting more cocky as we speak, because now, that other stuff didn't come in either. He's playing his game, and then the guys kill him in the game, and then he gets upset, All normal for a teenager now, but anyway.
Dangerous age period.
Yeah. So, guys, girls, I hope you liked this. I enjoyed having you with me. Thank you for watching. If everything goes as planned, I will be on my post tomorrow morning at 800 Zulu. Guys in the UK, I've made it an hour later just to accommodate you guys because of your clock situation. Paul, I hope it helps.
Makes no difference to me.
Okay, then I'm going to put it back.
What are you going to put back?
The time.
Time? It is almost impossible, but you can do that.
Yeah.
At least you can try.
Yeah, I'll try. Anyway.
Try.
There you go, guys.
Hello, Mac Trying. Hello, Erwin.
Hello,
Hello, everyone else.
And bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Cheers. Guys, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay well. Bye-bye.
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 Uncle John!
Hakan!